Pokémon is known for bright worlds and simple stories, but buried in its legacy is a game with a story so timeless, so human, and so tragic that it's a shame it's forgotten. It follows the struggles of two tragic figures facing each other at the crossroads of their respective paths in their broken world, fighting for a better world you will never see, or clinging to the ruins of your own. Both interesting visions, and caught between them is you. You wake up as a Pokémon. No memory, no explanation, but you'll soon learn that you're part of something far bigger. A desperate race to recover the time gears, the only things keeping time itself from collapsing. A race against a mysterious Pokémon, stealing them one by one. And without them, the world stops moving. Early on, the story mirrors modern struggles, a looming catastrophe eerily reminiscent of climate change, a slow-motion apocalypse driven by someone's deliberate actions. The story is set in world-ending urgency, which quickly establishes emotional investments for the player. All these goofy and funny characters that you encounter in the beginning of the game are heartwarming, but their lives are at stake. This contrast of darkness looming beneath the surface engages you to unfold the mysteries of this game and to prevent the coming catastrophe. Time gears are not easily spotted, of course. They are nature's most precious gifts. And the issue lies here. This mysterious thief always has a step in advance. How does he do it? How does he find those perfectly hidden boons so easily? Because he comes from the future. He already knows the positions of each gear. Thankfully, your team partner and yourself are not alone in this. You can count on the help of Dusknoir, an illustrious explorer known for his knowledge and wisdom. Well-spoken and mannered, you learn that he also comes from the future, and his role here is to catch the thief to prevent world's ruin. This colossal help carries you to overcome your limits and force your way through hurdles and mysteries. Until you catch up to him, the one behind it all, the thief of time itself. His name is Grovyle. But what if the villain was not who you expected? There's a form of apology in his words. Not only that, he discards you easily. He's not a coward, not a weasel to be cornered. He's a strong-willed warrior, seemingly conscious of what he's doing. And before your powerless eyes, he takes hold of the fourth time gear and vanishes. One gear remaining. Time is running out. At this point, the sense of urgency reaches a peak. And it's gripping because you get closer and closer to catching your mysterious enemy and learning more. It also highlights a powerful theme of this game, which is the never-ending push forward in the face of complete despair. In the midst of preparation for the final showdown, you realize something odd about Dusknoir. He seems to know you, to be interested in you. Once again, Grovyle arrives at the same time as you. And now, it's time to settle some differences. You put all your might into this challenge, a battle that will determine the salvation or destruction of this world. And he still beats you. But this time, the world prepared to defend itself. Access to the gear is denied, and the thief is forced to flee. Victory, in part. But then, in unexpected fashion, he actually doesn't go very far, since he's pretty quickly caught by Dusknoir, to the relief of everyone in this world. The thief has been arrested. Your friends and yourself celebrate this promise of a lot more good days to come, and Dusknoir prepares to return to the future with his muzzled prisoner. But is it not too soon for farewells? Dusknoir catches you and your partner at the same time as Grovyle and drags you in the time portal. portal closes. Confusion. What just happened? Dark. Pitch black all around. You are a prisoner. The illustrious Dusk Noir imprisoned you? Think about it. Grovile's apologetic speech, Dusk Noir being interested in you, Grovile being muzzled in the end. That's the toughest part of a betrayal like this one. A part of you saw it coming, and you're forced to face it as Dusk Noir is about to execute you. You heard that right. There's a certain violence in the scene setup here. All three characters tied to pillars as they're being clawed to death. There's a brutality here that Pokemon usually avoids. A brutality that is disturbingly human. You managed to get away, but what for? You're trapped into a world you don't know, a future in ruins. Stopping Grovile did not prevent the end, apparently. Your ally turns out to be your enemy, and you don't trust your former foe that much more. Far away from those you know, from those you love. We find a very important theme of this game here in the idea of trust. Most characters in this game are actually quite naive. They give their trust rather easily. But where the meta part comes in is that you as a player are playing a Pokemon game. You're expecting naivety, and you're expecting naivety to be rewarded, just like all the characters do. You expect betrayals in stories about humans, not in Pokemon. That's what makes it all the more painful. This is the lowest point of the story, the halfway point. Your only shot at going back where you belong is the very enemy that you chased all along, Grovile. Trust, once broken, is not easily mended. A very human reflection put into light when trying to reach Grovile for answers. Eventually, by mutual help, you end up on the same side as this mysterious character, and that is when you get to confront the truth about him and about yourself. Then it all clicks. You weren't just a lost human in the wrong body. You were Grovile's partner, the one who chose to go back in time with him, not to destroy the world, but to save it. The one who gave everything and then forgot it all. Your amnesia made you forget that the time gears are not where they actually belong. They need to be brought to the Tower of Time in order to protect time itself. This is another point that the story brings you. Not all is what it seems. The trustworthy people are not always the one that look like it. Regional time freeze is actually temporary contrary to what we might believe, as long as you put the time gears back in the Tower of Time. And the idea that comes with it is that sometimes for things to get better, they have to get worse first. So hang in there. You also realize an important point. You're not the only main character of this story. You're caught in between the dance of two souls bound to each other, yet on opposite sides. Grovile, the endlessly fighting survivor, ready to claw his way forward if it means saving your timeline. And Dusk Noir, the powerful and wise spirit, surrendering his agency for the remaining sense of order that the ruined world has to offer. After many struggles, Grovile manages to escape Dusk Noir's controlling grasps with you, with help from a dear friend, Celebi. It takes everything to escape: strength, pain, and trust rebuilt. But Celebi stays behind. It's the first true loss of the story. The first sacrifice, but not the last. Remember when we said that broken trust is not easily mended? It will take a lot to mend it between Grovile and your guild comrades, for them to understand and accept the truth. But eventually, they do. And that is the absolute heartwarming beauty of it. This is a game that encourages trust despite hurt and betrayals. Until then, Grovile carried core game themes such as wonder and mystery very well. He was your target, your mystery, your mirror. He allowed you to travel through the most beautiful and ethereal parts of the world, but also the darkest and furthest. He's an endless wanderer. But is there a better feeling in the world than to be back where you belong? This is Grovile's first experience of belonging somewhere, of peace and hope, of home. The heart-wrenching aspect, though, is that there's no time to appreciate that warmth. You saw what the world is about to become. Time-frozen zones get larger and larger every day. The end is nigh. Grovile and you have to find the Tower of Time and put an end to it all. Backed up by your allies and yourself, Grovile manages to find a path that will lead you to the tower. And as you take that path, this is it. The final adventure to save the world. Final. You reflect on the word and a thought comes to mind. Why does it feel so final? And there, it dawns on you. You will disappear, and so will Grovile. The leaf Pokémon keeps going, scratching and clawing the way for you through the desolated lands, until you reach the stairs, the final stairs to salvation and sacrifice. But the dance does not stop as long as the music is playing. Dusknoir appears one more time, cornering Grovile with his outnumbering goons. So many of them. It was so close, yet so far. You cannot get past them. It takes a soul's pure heart to give you a chance. Grovile takes a hold of Dusknoir with all of his strength, and he pushes. Dusknoir is his fight, not yours. All this undeserved malevolence he endured from distrusting others, this warmth of home that he never got to taste, this embrace with you, his amazing best friend that he will never get. He pushes Dusknoir one final time into the portal's darkness, leaving you with a final chance to make a change. It's not just a noble act, it's the most human choice, to die for someone else's tomorrow. Now, from your point of view, this is where the tragic story of Grovile's sacrifice ends. But it's not exactly over yet. There is still something that Grovile needs to do before it all ends. A dance never ends while the music is still playing. And dancing with a hero tends to rub off on you. Dusknoir goes back to consciousness, the ruined future still spreading across the horizon. Their world remains, for the moment, but if the environment didn't change, something inside did. A heroic deed planted a seed. Turns out, Dusknoir is now isolated. His subordinates do not respect him. Dialga Primal does not trust him. And this is a fertile ground for a thought to grow. After all these efforts, I'm still considered like a disposable pawn? Have I taken the right path? The dance partners eventually meet again. Understandably, Grovile prepares for a fight, until he realizes his nemesis does not fight back. He offers help. Dusknoir proposes they work together to rescue Celebi, who has been captured by the Sableye and is being held in a frozen wasteland. Grovile is suspicious at first, of course, but reluctantly agrees. This begins a tense alliance. Dusknoir is still wrestling with guilt and uncertainty, and Grovile is wary. The theme of trust comes shining back here. It will take something very strong to trust your nemesis. Something like a world ending. Here, trust does not come from a place of naivety in this mirrored world. It is earned. But as the cold adversity of a world in ruins mauls the two warriors, the shared pain aids change between them. Dusknoir shows more and more guilt, questioning his allegiance choices. He even defends Grovile in battle, something that we never thought we'd see. This dance reaches a turning point when Dusknoir reveals to have planned it all along, to betray Grovyle in the end. But with everything they've been through together, Dusknoir no longer has the heart to follow through with his plan, to the point where Dusknoir saves Grovyle from the very own trap he carefully prepared all this time. By doing so, he enters a path that offers no going back, defying primal Dialga. Interesting to note that even in the face of such an overwhelming threat, the Sableye remain loyal to Dusknoir. Their loyalty evokes palpable yet unseen qualities in Grovyle's nemesis. Even in complete despair after a fate-sealing sacrifice, Grovyle still manages to pull off one more heroic deed, bringing back Dusknoir's lost soul to the light. And it is together, side by side at last, that they will stand against primal Dialga, to give a chance to your partner and yourself for better days. And after a final fight, having given everything they've got, here they remain, standing in the face of their world's ending, for a world that will replace theirs. They represent the most selfless utilitarianism possible, giving future days for many to the cost of their own, and thus ends their tale. Unsung heroes. The saddest part? Very few will remember what they did, or what they gave up for everyone else. But you will. You witnessed their timeless dance. You saw their, well, humanity, the best and the worst. As the music fades, the partners say their goodbyes, and you will remember this time. And maybe that's all that ever mattered. In the end, they were not just Pokémon. They were something more. They were human. Now, I have a confession to make. This is not exactly how it ends. Our heroes are actually revived and their world is preserved, probably within an alternating timeline. A divine miracle. And as such, they will get to build this future together and to finally enjoy what they always craved for their entire lives, the warmth of home. And I totally get how such an ending can be embraced. It actually warmed my heart back when I first experienced it, and I'm still fond of it in some ways. But then, why do I tell you about this ending in the outro? Because the last part of the story is part of a special episode only released in Explorer of Sky that did not exist in Explorer of Time. It brings great story points such as Dusknoir's redemption, but I also feel like this ending undermines a lot of the themes within the original game, namely tragedy and sacrifice. The Deus Ex Machina can feel a bit out of place, and moments like Grovyle's sacrifice before the Tower of Time are hurt by it. Nevertheless, a part of me remains grateful for appeasing our hearts at the end of the story, so that we can turn this beautiful emotional page in peace. Tell me what you think in the comments. Did the miracle ending satisfy you, or did it take away some of the weight of what came before? But anyway, that will be it for me for today, and I hope I will see you soon for another video. See you then.